Canon event number 1. Realizing something that happened to you was actually sexual assault. You're going about your day and then you remember something, a touch, a comment, a situation you brushed off at the time. But the more you sit with it, the more it hits you. I'm actually sad about the fact that almost every person that I have ever encountered has been through this. Hi guys, Murugi Munyi here.
It's Lydia KM.
And we're back again with another episode of
The Messy In Between.
It's definitely TMI.
The way you said, another episode of that was new.
Right. Oh, another episode of.
Yeah, another episode of.
Right.
Or another episode of.
Yeah, but it feels like you're whispering, it's definitely TMI. It's not like, it's definitely TMI. It felt like you were doing more toned down.
Gorilla.
Since when? Because you want this outfit. Shut up.
If
you know what?
only you can be in your feminine.
Bitch.
If only you can be soft.
Shut up.
only.
Oh, please. Oh, please. But you know what has just occurred to me? Our montage. We're now coming up on 3 years with that montage, aren't we?
I don't know who that is.
I too.
Nancy, please let's do a new montage when
but
we
like
come
not
back.
This year.
Yeah. Girl. Oh.
I was going to be like, no, she's going to do that.
When we come back from break.
Yeah. A new montage, we need new pictures.
Yeah, we can do all the updates.
Exactly. Is it time for a new intro?
I think so
5
too.
years,
I think it's so too. We're going to come with a new look.
That's it, yeah. I feel like I want you to be first now.
Why?
I don't know. Let's change.
Wait, and this new crazy.
Exactly.
No.
Yes, you can. Hi guys, Lydia KM here. Murugi Munyi present.
Whatever. That sounds like work for February. We will be taking a short break, by the way, guys. Short.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on who you are
comparing us to. But we'll be taking
a
a short break so we can have Christmas break, January, and then come back in Feb. And we have seen that actually we are more intentional as a podcast when we have these
breaks.
Yeah, when we have these breaks. So we want to be like doing more of them so that we can go take a second. When we come back, we always like, what more can we do? How can we shape it? And by the way, this year we had so many plans, but so many people just kept dying. There's something we could do.
We were just like, it's true though. People just kept
every
dying.
2 minutes it's just like death.
I'll never forget the day you told us about your show. I was like,
I was just like, guys,
so now I'm here again. I was like, guys,
it's me again. It's me again. Yeah, it's been a really intense year. So hopefully next year we're gonna be able to execute a lot of those. But anticipate a break is what we are saying.
Exactly.
Also, I found the picture where me and Joe did the brainstorming video call
for TMI,
where we decided what the name was going to be, like what we wanted the next steps to be, all of that. It's the cutest little thing. I remember it. I remember how I felt.
I remember nothing.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember how it was. I remember even how your voice was. I remember how we came to TMI.
Right.
Yes.
I remember vividly is us being at bowling and hiding because it was Nay's birthday. Was it Nay's birthday?
It was Nay's birthday.
Yeah, and that's where I remember you saying, we should do the podcast together. And I'm like, yeah, by the way, we should. I remember that particular day so vividly.
I do. That I remember too.
Yeah.
But even that, when we came up with the name, I remember. So we're going to insert it here. We were different people. That was
really
feels like 100 million years ago.
I actually cannot believe it. Do you need to pick that up?
No. Okay, cute. What was I saying? We're different people.
We're different people.
Yeah, we're different people. So, but yeah, it was a really exciting time. And actually, when I look back, it's the journey. The getting there is good. And even as we go on and we do bigger things is amazing. But thinking about those beginnings when we had no idea, we were just figuring it out. I remember. And people say, enjoy those bits. They're not easy to enjoy.
They're
but
really not, yeah.
I remember those.
Yeah, I thought we did a reel of like, actually, when you're talking to 2020 you and saying this is what we've been through the past 5 I was like, oh my God. Actually, it's a good thing we can't all see the future because if we could, first, would I still be married? I don't think so. I don't think I would have these kids. I don't think we would have this podcast.
The last 5 years have absolutely rocked it.
Yeah,
it's absolutely rocked it. But you've been here. You've been here, guys, riding. We love you. We appreciate you. And especially for those people who really do take the time to subscribe, we really do appreciate you. And for those of you who maybe you think you subscribe, but you haven't, please check.
Just check.
Because it's a big part of how we grow this business, because that's what it is when you guys subscribe, because those numbers is where we go and tell them, look at all the people who have subscribed.
Exactly.
Give us the money so that we can keep the lights on. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So yeah, also make sure you're following us on social media. Lydia KM, Murugi Muni, TMI Podcast KE. We get all the BTSs. We do giveaways sometimes there. Please make sure you're following us.
Yeah. And follow us especially on socials, because that's where you really get the meat of who we are. On our TikTok, the other day I deleted a TikTok of ours. Did you notice, Bri?
Why?
You know, it's all like, first of all, I'm convinced Bri hates me as a person.
Why?
I'm convinced. Because the one she always picks for like snippet, it's the one which is going viral.
Oh, it is.
It is her. It's her. It's always you. And it's the one just was going viral. I went to the comments. I was like, I don't need this.
Which one?
You hadn't seen the comments? Oh,
which one?
My
Which
dear.
one is this?
What was I talking? All right, yeah. So we said exactly, and it's like, actually, as a man, why? And you see, it's just when it's put like that. Oh my God! The first comment was then there. Like this woman has the platform, but not the face to be saying such things. Oh. I was like, you know what? Ini page yangu.
Yeah.
This is my page. I deleted it. I went and deleted on Instagram. I was like, no, I'm not even. Because you see, it was part of a larger conversation. But when you just see it as just that snippet.
It was just that snippet. Joe, let me tell you.
And I was not willing to be sacrificed.
Your views are controversial.
No, they are not.
They actually are.
Actually, it's only because I say them out loud. That's not a controversial. Your man ordered a Cosmo. Don't now clip this one. A Cosmo.
A
Cosmo in this glass. No.
If it's not controversial. If it's not controversial, what's the problem?
Can I tell you what? How comes if they're so controversial? How comes when it's on YouTube, they're not mentioned on YouTube? But the second you make it a snippet, suddenly that's when now people have a problem with it. Why?
Because number one, it's being taken.
I somebody were hating on Lydia.
Someone hasn't had like the full conversation to understand what it is we're talking about. But the view itself is controversial.
No.
It is controversial. Let me tell you, I used to just be like, no, people really do be picking on Murugi. Then the more I hear your views, the more I'm like, no. Your views are controversial.
No, and then here's another thing which I've realized. Whenever we put something which is controversial, there'll be so many people agreeing with me in my DM, but the people in the comments are disagreeing.
Yeah.
Because the view is controversial, so to speak. It's just, it's controversial that I've said it.
Yeah.
But there are many who agree with me, and those ones are just in my DM. They're not willing to be sacrificed for them. I need you people to stand up.
But let me tell you,
and support me.
View, you know, because right now we are like, we have this positioning of like this growth movement of like openness and like men can do what they want, you know? So then when you say something in that air, everything, even right now, anything about men, anything about women,
anything about men and like money, anything about men and money.
People are waiting like this. You see? So
are my views controversial, really?
No, your views are, I wouldn't say you sit on, that's anyone can think that view. No, I think your views are fairly controversial.
All I can say is that also, guys, when in our private chats between me and Lydia, if there was a camera there, you would also be saying Lydia's views are controversial. Some of the things she's come from saying in the bedroom right, like literally 5 minutes ago. What did you say that Ag said? What did you say? No, repeat for the audience. Say. Speak. Thank you. Exactly. So it's just because maybe what I need to learn is how to shut up.
Yeah?
Maybe what I need to learn is how to shut up.
No, don't shut up, Joe. That's what makes you authentic. That's what makes you Joe. You know what I mean? That's what makes you what we love.
These people are always from now. Every time I keep telling myself, whenever Brie puts up a snippet, I need to be watching it. So that I know to be prepared for. But sometimes I don't even know which one is going to be. People are going to be like, oh,
I don't know why that's controversial though. Like that is clearly a preference that you don't want men who are associated with pretty looking drinks because they need to look masculine, right?
That's how you feel. That was your view.
No, that was your view.
It was.
Because you want to snip it. You wanted them to snip it and it sounds like it's mine.
Exactly. That was my view.
No, I don't have a problem with the man ordering
and the problem is,
pina colada.
Actually, it's fine because pina colada comes in a proper drink.
And a pineapple at the top.
You see, a part of what forms my toxic views sometimes is also the fact that I do accept. Yeah, is the fact that I am also with a man who is toxically masculine. So he will order the pretty drink, but he'll ask for them to put it in this other glass. Do you see what I mean? So to me, that's where what is forming my world view.
Yeah.
You see?
No, I really, you can order whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and Lydia will pay for it, so don't worry.
That's the last tea you get. And now that's it. You're off close friends. There you go. I told her an unfortunate thing. I was a victim of circumstance. I was a victim. I was a victim of status.
People just don't know the real
You are not going to be on close friends.
You can't
You're
remove
done.
me from close friends.
Easy.
You can't.
Easy.
You can't.
I
I'm logged into your Instagram.
How will you know?
I'm logged
How
into
will
your
you know?
Sharon has your Insta password.
So
I'll just log in.
No.
And add myself
You're
back.
out. You're out. You need to be put on timeout for a while.
Sorry. Okay,
Since
fine.
you're using my victimizations.
Sorry. I'm so sorry. How about we start the episode?
That would
It's been
be
20
great.
minutes.
Yeah.
And
So
now...
speaking of being a victim, today we're talking about canon events that shaped you as a woman. And a canon events, we have done this, I think, about relationships and also about friendships.
Yeah.
So these are events that shaped your worldview and completely shifted your perspective.
Yeah.
And this is from Diva Yeti.
Yeah.
And by the way, she's such a good content creator. She
put her handle here.
articulates her views really, really well. So we're just going to be reading them out and then just giving us our view.
Exactly. Yeah. Her full name is Yetunde something, very long last name, but like we're putting it here so you can follow her. So canon event number 1. Realizing something that happened to you was actually sexual assault. You're going about your day and then you remember something, a touch, a comment, a situation you brushed off at the time. But the more you sit with it, the more it hits you. Wait, that wasn't okay. That wasn't just uncomfortable. That was assault. And it reshapes how you think about so many past moments.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm actually sad about the fact that almost every person that I have ever encountered has been through this.
Almost every single woman.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
For me, I knew something bad had happened from the jump because I was a kid. And I felt like that wasn't okay, but maybe I had never articulated it as sexual assault, you know, because you say like, oh yeah, he just kind of forced himself to kiss me or he just grabbed my ass. You don't want to put sexual assault in front of it because you don't want to own that.
Especially the grabbing ass.
Yeah, you don't want to own that,
yeah.
but that's sexual assault.
Right.
That's sexual assault. But I was definitely struggling to articulate that, to say that I was sexually assaulted as a child.
That is so
true. So then now when I got the language and the courage, by the way, because it took a lot of courage and I articulated that, then now you got to sit and breathe through it and like now work through what that means and feeling like your power was taken, your agency was robbed, all that. Right. And sometimes it's just easier to just be like, he just...
Yeah, right. Okay, I feel like for sure... Like when I think about the time where I sat and I was just like, by the way, this was sexual assault and this used to happen often. Like when I think of like in primary school, a way that boys used to treat girls, especially girls who had like matured early, you know, the ones who's like, oh, everyone's boobs have not yet come in, but theirs have. And then it's just like, oh, they touch you or whatever. Like now, later on, when you think about it, I feel like people have two different ways of responding to it. There's the ones of like you can deal with it, like you. Now you're like in therapy, you're talking about it, you're even confronting past, you know, relationships and whatever. I feel like then there's the other one, which is like, you know that you don't have the bandwidth to be able to deal with that. And you get it. Right? And you worry that it could break you as a person. It could shake the very foundations with the way you interact with men or women or your parents or your siblings or like just like even just authority figures or whatever. I feel like maybe I'm in that one. Okay. It's like in my mind, I feel like I have confronted it and like I'm able to articulate it, but only to like a select few. It's not something that I'm willing to, a door that I'm willing to open frequently. Yeah.
But you know, now it affects you.
I get that.
It affects you all the time. And unfortunately, sometimes what ends up happening is that you were sexually assaulted, you haven't confronted it. And then your daughter, God forbid, is sexually assaulted. When they come to you, you can't deal with theirs.
Because you haven't
dealt with your own,
right.
you know? So whatever things that we don't heal, we tend to kind of heal or express them out in a different way. Right. And I don't like hiding.
I get that.
I don't. I'm a very confrontational person about the ugliness that I need to confront.
Right. I've just thought of there's a third way. I feel like the third way is people who just ignore it and pretend it didn't happen.
And it's not even pretend. It's just kind of like you can't look. You
exactly.
can't look at that. It's just too ugly. And I empathize. Right. I really do. Yeah, because I mean, imagine if someone who's in your family, right, like your mom's husband, this is it. Yeah. You are rocking a marriage,
right? Now, my question would be this: does confronting it with yourself always require a conversation? Does it always require confronting with the other person?
Yeah.
Or can it be that, okay, you remembered this thing, you work on healing it within yourself without necessarily roping in the other person and having to have the conversation with your mom, let's say, or that person, or exposing it. Is that always a part of the healing?
I think everyone is different, but for me, because it happened as a child, my mom was have to be a part of a conversation because where was it happening?
Yeah.
I'm a child. I was supposed to be being protected by people, so it's like there needs to be a conversation about how it happened. I can't ignore because it's not like I took myself to the club. You know what I mean? It's like I was I'm a child. I didn't even know. I wasn't deciding what I was doing. So for me, it was important to lope in my mom because that protective part was part of it. But I don't think it has to be like that for every single person. And I can't even like create a roadmap for anyone on how to deal with it. But mine is just kind of facing it because it's affecting me anyway. It's affecting you
whether
anyway.
You know it or
whether
not.
you know it or not, it's affecting you. It's affecting your decision making. It's affecting your sexuality, how you express yourself in sex, who you date. It's with you. It doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah. And that's why that one random day where you're just walking down the street and you see something and you remember it. It's always been there. It's just that it was there in your subconscious. But now you see something and you've been reminded of it, but somehow you have been operating with that thing in your subconscious and it's been affecting your decisions and your choices and everything.
You see what you said about like primary school. In high school, like boys kind of like touching on you and stuff like that. That was kind of a badge of honor.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just like, oh my God, they want
sexy,
you. Like,
Yeah, that's crazy.
I went to a Catholic high school, St. Thomas More, and then midway it was shifted to like it was combined with another one, Fairfield. And because it was because like they said that there weren't enough actual Catholic schools in my school, so then they shifted it. So now we were like our mannerisms were like innocent. We were just like, whoa, I didn't know we were innocent, but then when we were mixed in with the other school, I was like,
and it was boys and girls.
It was boys and girls even in the Catholic school. When we were mixed in, I was like, oh, it was like sexual. Everything was just sexual in nature. The way boys handled girls, like we didn't have that at all. And we weren't even exactly a strict Catholic school. It just wasn't that.
Right. Did you ever, was that like concerning to you? It was just like, oh, this is different? Or?
I felt like, I felt like, yes, I'm watching Ginny and Georgia, by the way. It's actually really good.
Really?
Yeah.
I've been wanting to
But
try
mom
it.
stuff will rise to the top.
I don't want
They
that.
will rise to the top, my good friend.
I think I watched one episode and already in that one episode I was like, I feel
the mom stuff flies to the roof, my friend. But she said it's like she feels like she's in this environment where it's like she's playing a game but she doesn't know the rules. That's how it felt.
Right.
Yeah, it's like I'm here and I'm participating, but it's like, what are you supposed to do?
Play,
So then you do what the majority are doing, which is like, oh, it's a good thing when a boy is like grabbing your boobs or your whatever. It's like a cool thing.
That is crazy. Because now in such context, I always ask myself, like now as a parent, what would the parent... How was the parent supposed to know that that's happening for them to be able to intervene? Do you know what I mean?
First of all, we didn't even think that we didn't think it was anything bad.
Thing. Exactly.
Yeah. So there's those moments where it's just like, even I wasn't aware, but then there's other moments where it's just like, okay, this situation was like a compromising situation. I should never been there. I should have been protected more. Those ones, But others is like,
I know.
You don't know until later.
Gives me that makes me anxious as a parent, I can tell you. But I feel like our generation of parents is different from our parents because I feel like we are more proactive. You see how like your parents had a conversation with you about the birds and the bees at the time where they were just like, okay, now she's old enough to know or whatever. It's kind of like, it's a need to basis. Like, oh, don't get pregnant, whatever. I feel like now already we start that as young as like Tana of like no one should touch your private parts, whatever. If anyone says this is a secret between you and only you can't have secrets with anyone. You have to come and tell mommy and daddy. Like we are being more proactive about that.
Huge.
And I really
love
hope that makes a difference. You know what I mean?
What's that song?
Yeah, no one touch my private parts. Private parts.
Yeah. Who did I see doing it? Was it Mama Olive?
Was it?
I think
maybe,
so.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love that. And also like naming them like the right words so that when somebody does it, it's like they're going to be able to use the right words to say what happened to them.
Exactly.
I love it. I love it so much because that's as much as you can do.
It really is.
It really is.
Oh my God. But I think we all understand why some parents struggle with anxiety because like literally the thought that there's so much that can happen to your child and you're not there, you're not present.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't even know how you guys do it.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
don't.
but anyway, as we are speaking, guys, let us know if you've experienced any of these Canon events. We'd love to. Well, obviously, some of these things are sensitive. So if you'd like to DM us, please, you can also DM us on Instagram, my handle, her handle, or even TMI Podcast KE.
Yeah. The second one, transitioning from daddy's girl to your mother's defender. Growing up, you are daddy's baby, but one day, without even noticing, the shift happens. Your mom calls and needs something, and you send it without hesitation. You catch yourself defending her more, leaning in. It's not that you don't love your dad, it's just that you understand your mom now in ways you couldn't before.
Wow. I feel like for me, that shift happened when I became a mom.
Fair.
Yeah, I feel like when I became a mom, and like maybe not the earlier years, because then I was still like teenagey and whatever. I don't think I had fully grasped what parenting or parenthood was. But I feel like maybe when I got married and became a mom, I mean, yeah, when I got married and now it's like I'm raising my kids in the context of a marriage, I was like, yeah, I get it.
I do. I think I was that too early.
Right. A bit parentified.
Yes, because I was parentified, there's a way I was like a deputy parent kind of thing. So I always saw my mom somewhat like a partner, because I remember there's a time we had come to Kenya and my dad was kind of being kind of loud and abrasive. These are the times when we didn't know that he got bipolar. It's because you know, bipolar and drinking kind of mix in. So you don't know if someone is acting that way because they're sick or because we were drinking, because we didn't know that he used to get sick. Anyway, and then I remember we were talking, and I think my dad stood up, and he kind of was a bit confrontational with my mom, and I stood up as a middle to kind of just be like, whoa, now like you can't do that. I think I was like maybe like 15 or something like that, you know? Yeah. I think what I was feeling really tired of is the dynamic of my mom really doing everything to try and like have us have a relationship with my dad doing it in my mom's face, and then like just kind of feeling like my mom was being victimized, you know what I mean? And I remember where we were when that happened. And I knew that I shouldn't have been in that position in the first place, but I was my mom's defender. Like from then on, I always just felt like you can't be giving her shit anymore.
Yeah. I feel like, so this point, especially is different when you grew up in a toxic household, especially if you had an alcoholic dad or if you had a whatever, where you're constantly, even me, I remember growing up, like instances where we're just like, mom, you should just leave. You know what I mean? Like, you should just leave. Like, we can actually be fine kind of thing. And there were times where they would separate. And I remember in the separation, we would always be like, okay, now we need to like be there for mom. We really need to whatever kind of thing. And to
Maybe
be honest,
it's different when they're both good.
Exactly. When they're both good, I feel like it's different. Tell us, guys.
You tell us. We don't know. We can't relate.
Exactly. But for us, I think pretty early on,
you start.
And I can only imagine, especially as a firstborn, you guys, Kwanzaa, now you are like, you're mom number 2.
Yeah, so because, you know, it's like oldest daughter and dad.
You gotta go at it. Yeah. I don't know if I was ever like a daddy's girl as such. I mean, I remember we loved him. We still love him. Yeah. But I just feel like from as far as I can remember, we just have always been like, defend mom, help mom.
Yeah, well, we were younger for sure. We had a good relationship with my dad. My dad was very, very playful. Like he's arts and crafts guy. He's a dramatic guy. So
always
he played a lot.
Ones who are always like that. My dad, the most charismatic, the most whatever. The one who's going to
take
you
for treats. If you're looking for charisma in your
right?
husband, if you're looking for charisma,
let me tell you, baby. Let me tell you. Wait. Actually, there was a time, was it our therapist who made us do an exercise of like ways in which like elements that are in Zach that were in my dad that I had not. Lydia. It transformed me as a person, and I was actually very disappointed.
But we did know that it was pretty obvious. It wasn't even a fight. No. You didn't even try.
He knows I'm talking about him. Hey, baby. But you see, and it was not even just like surface level things. Like, you see, I was just like, oh, okay, he's calm. My dad is calm. And that's just like calms me as a person. And it was like deep things. And I was like, like what? Like avoidance, like being an avoidant, kind of what I was just like, oh yeah, they're so calm, they never lose their cool, they don't, but also they wouldn't talk about anything. So now it's like, is it an issue? you'll never know because they'll never bring it up, kind of thing. And it's like, oh, I see how that thing that I saw as only positive actually has both sides of the coin.
Yeah, I think about like how the ways of attracted men who are like my dad. And I did see, my therapist told me that. And then now as I've shifted to kind of really be conscious about who I'm attracting, she was like, you're running away from not attracting your dad. So you're definitely attracting men who are very different from your dad now, but you're running towards your mom.
Yeah, I remember that day. Very transformative for us in this friendship, I can tell you that. And that was the day actually I decided, do I need to keep going to therapy? Do you know what I mean? Because like some things is like, what do you want me to do with certain information now? Like, what do you want me to do with it? Do you know what I mean?
If
like,
you don't do something with it, Kenny will.
You don't keep saying things like that.
It's true.
But you see, I feel like now you have the opportunity now to attract and marry now the right one. Do you know what I mean? Me, I've married the one that I've married, and I love him. I love my husband very much so. But it's like more about like now I'm in this dynamic. I just need to learn how to exist in this. And you can, partnership.
But you can't know how to if you don't know what's even wrong with it or why it doesn't work.
2026, maybe.
2026, it's
not
you.
2027. While you guys are voting, me, I'll be working on my own.
I get it, because honestly, sometimes I get out of therapy, I'm just like, oh, yeah. So there will always be something.
We started get out of therapy. I need to take a nap because, like, actually, I'm so tired.
And that's why I
must
do online because I'm driving nowhere.
I must nap. Oh my God. Okay, well, that was a deep one. Both of these have been very deep. Okay, third one. Canon event as a woman, that sudden frontal lobe upgrade. You wake up one day and your brain just clicks. Suddenly you want peace, boundaries, and new skincare routine. You want to drink water, block toxic people, journal, and leave the group chat. It's like your frontal lobe said, let's change our life today.
100%. I think that came for me around
30.
Not 30, 32. I didn't feel I was 30 until I was about 32.
Yeah.
It takes time.
2 years ago now. She's 34 now.
Oh, damn. It takes time for you to kind of feel it.
Yeah.
That was it for me. And I was just like, oh, so I don't have to tolerate all of this shit. I'm the center of my life. I can do... Yeah, 32.
Right. I would say definitely mine has been in my 30s. I feel like in my head, I've always imagined that because my life from when I was 20 literally has been dedicated to raising kids, and like I've been a mom from that time.
Sometimes I forget that.
Right? Crazy. Yeah. From when I was 20. I feel like if I had not, my frontal lobe would have developed faster. That in my head. That's what I imagine. Because you see, it's like when you're a mom, it's kind of like all the time and effort and whatever that you spend on yourself now is on other people. So you really don't have that much time for like a self-reflection, introspection to do what you're managing things. You're managing people. Before you know it, I got married. Before you know it, I now have 2 kids. Before you know it, I now have 3 kids. It's like it's only actually now in my 30s that I've now been able to like actually spend time with myself, know myself, learn myself. Because like now at least my kids are more independent, and it's like, this is what I like. This is what I enjoy. This is, the kind of whatever. Actually, I don't like that frontal lobe thing. I think mine happened at 34, actually. Yeah, because it's like now that I feel like I'm more me than I have been in the past 14 years, maybe. Yeah.
That makes so much sense, but not a perspective I had ever thought of. Because the way I think about it is like you are thrusted in something incredibly responsible. Of course, your frontal lobe must have developed way earlier.
Nope.
That's so interesting.
Because then you're just playing a role. You see, because it's like, how moms are supposed to be. You're supposed to feed your kids. You're supposed to be present. You're supposed to comfort them when they cry. You're supposed to change their diapers. Like, those are just things you're taught as a woman, how to nurture kids. But like this one, and that's why I keep saying, I feel like you're going to be so fortunate if you do have kids to be able to do it when you know yourself, when you have done the work, when now you're able to like, not just, this is how moms are. No, this is how I want to be a mom. And it's only now that I'm being able to have that because it's like now it's like I know myself. You know what I mean?
That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
I've never seen it that way. Thank you so much for sharing that. Like that really does make sense. I heard a video the other day, and this lady was saying kids who are protected build early. Kids who are not protected build later but deeper. So now from the perspective of like even like maybe things that we're trying to figure out about ourselves, self-love and stuff, the people who had balanced, healthy family
They had it. They were good. Yeah.
They were so good. So I
Yeah.
can see in that same fashion is like the building part, especially from your self-building,
Yes.
was paused.
Exactly.
It's like it was paused, and then it's like when you're done with this bit, then you can pick it up.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes so much sense.
Yeah, which is why I feel so envious sometimes. It's just like you've gotten to, or like people who have kids later or get married later have gotten to like experience themselves, have gotten to like grow that element of them, because then now when everything else comes in, it's harder for you to lose yourself in it because you already know who you are, how you are, the things you like, the things you don't like. You're less likely to take shit, honestly.
Oh, definitely that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Already you see how you're moving. You're moving mad in this Nairobi, baby.
Take shite, baby. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Do no harm. Take no shit.
Take no shit.
Take
honestly,
no shit.
Yeah.
What I see with you though is like I feel like there's a reality that motherhood brings you to about the realities of life. That's
I'm
what
always
you
saying the
always
reality.
speak of.
Yeah.
Whereas for me, because of having so much choice and so much freedom, I speak from what I want and how things ought to be based on what I want versus the realities of how they are, because this is where you were. You are a mom.
Exactly.
Does that make sense? And the way you navigate life actually with like realities, sometimes it's like it's admirable because it's like you don't resist things as they are as much as I do. I'm not trying to have things as they are.
You're trying
things
to have
are going to be the way that I want. Exactly. So I see that.
I think that's why also like the audience, remember when people would leave comments of like Lydia is like an idealist, you know, whatever. I think that's why, it's just because
I think so.
Yeah,
I can't have it how I want.
Exactly. It's just a different way. I feel like sometimes people who live now too much in the realist world get resentful towards people who are trying to be too idealistic, because it's like, no, who told you can have what you want when us we have to settle for what we got? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so it makes sense.
Yeah,
It
and it's not
upsets
even
them,
idealistic. It's just like, it's an exercise of choice. But I get when you don't have the choice, you then feel like, why should anybody
you
else
get the
have it?
choice?
Yes,
Yeah, exactly.
And you know, even as a content creator, I don't think I will call myself somebody who's like a culture regurgitator. I am a culture shifter. I want to shape it. I want to shape it in the form that benefits more people than it harms. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember you mentioning that in the Man Talk episode when we were talking about
like,
that. It's like, yeah, okay, this is the reality, but whose reality?
Are we gonna
and
keep
can we
saying
change?
that?
Yeah, exactly.
Because if our show shows, if our moms, if everyone says that, we change nothing.
Nothing ever changes. Yeah. So right. I feel like we need people like you in the world, and we need people like me.
And that's why you guys have TMI.
Oh so my God.
For you.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? Love that.
Right. Next one. Growing up, quote unquote, ugly, and then adjusting to the new attention of your new features. It messes with your head. You spent years being overlooked and taunted. Now everybody's complimenting your glow up, but deep down you wonder, would you have liked me before? You smile through it, but the wound still lingers.
That's interesting.
I don't know if I felt like I was extreme on like the ugly duckling, that there was like this massive shift. I don't think so. But I think maybe growing up, like I think I've been a late bloomer about pretty much everything. So like when I got older, and I think I was in uni, or I think around when I finished high school, I was like, oh,
I'm kind of hot.
Okay. The boys like, whoa.
Yeah.
Not all at the same time. I think there was a bit of a shift because in high school, most of the time, actually majority of high school, I didn't feel pretty. I didn't feel wanted. I didn't feel that with boys at all. And because those were the years where I was like the most awkward, because I'm this African kid who's in the UK. I have a very heavy accent. I don't understand the culture. I did have friends. My personality has always been
had a
lit.
heavy accent.
So of
Which
course
one?
I have a heavy accent from coming from Kenya over to the UK. How am I going to speak?
Oh yeah, by the way, I can't even imagine how you were speaking.
Exactly. So then now, because of that, then I'm going to be weird. I'm going to feel uncomfortable. That was when it was so uncool to be African. Literally, you came from a boat as a slave.
Yeah.
That was the whole thing about being
migrant.
Africa. Exactly. So that was when I felt the least like myself, the least at home in my body, in my environment. Then now when I finished high school and I went into college, it felt a bit freer. Then into uni, now I started feeling like my world was opening up. Then that's when I felt like,
right?
Hey.
I feel like most people experience that, especially in college or uni, because like before, your parents are buying you clothes. Your parents are determining what you're wearing, whatever. Like it's like, oh, mom, buy me this, whatever. Whatever you're wearing is what they have. But now in uni, you can express yourself. Like you can cut your hair short, you can dye your hair if you want, you can dress the way you want. If you want to do jeans and top every day, like me, you can do jeans and top every day. But it's like then you're able to actually express like who and how you are.
Yeah.
I feel like many people, I would say, go through that. But you know, this has reminded me of is like there's this post I saw about like what is something that happens in romantic movies that in real life is just is actually a red flag. And one of the things was like actually in movies how these best friends they're like best friends who aren't like attracted to each other, or one isn't attracted to, like the guy is not attracted to the girl, and then she loses weight and gets hot, and all of a sudden now they fall in love.
Phobia.
And now it's like, whoa, wow. So this whole time she's had an amazing personality,
was just small,
right? But
your body
exactly,
just wasn't small.
Now he has suddenly seen that she's actually an amazing person, and like she's been there for me all along. Now when she's lost the weight and gotten hot, like I actually remember reading tons of books that had that kind of narrative, and to me it made so much sense. To like, wow, she lost weight and she got so pretty. She removed her glasses and now she's gorgeous.
Glasses, oh my god!
Like what?
The demonizing of glasses should be studied. And that's all she ever did. Just the glasses.
And now she's a different person.
Come
on, yeah. But these glasses are being painted as like, oh, they're hot, they're sexy, like sexy secretaries.
Let me tell you, that's why you shouldn't listen to culture, because things shift.
Right, yeah. Me, I definitely feel like I had a glow up at some point, but I feel like it was I think it was after uni for me. Because for me, uni is when I became a mom. Literally first semester, first year. So it's like, it wasn't really like a sexy time for me really. But after uni, when I now broke up with my... Let's not say my baby daddy, the father of my child. That's when I feel like I now felt like, wow, I'm like a woman. I'm kind of like womanly, because first when you're stuck in a toxic relationship, ain't nothing hard about that. You're constantly just like in a place of like feeling down on yourself, feeling trapped, feeling whatever. But after that, that's when I was just like, oh, wow, I'm actually hot, you know? And then things which I hated about myself, like I used to hate my nose. I used to feel like my nose is too big for my face. I used to feel like my ears protrude, you know, like just two things which made me stand out. I love them now, you know, but it's like as you grow older, you're just like, what are these things I'm hating on myself for? Like, honestly, I'm cute, you know. And then also when I was younger, I was the kind of chubby, which was just like, you're just chubby. But then now when I was now in uni or like post-uni, I was like, oh, I'm actually curvy. Curvy is what I am. I have a big ass and boys like big asses. And then it felt kind of cute. So it was like, it's the same thing, but it's like, I guess the narrative shifted. Again, not right that we were measuring ourselves by standards of like boys liking you, boys wanting you, boys, you know, being attracted to you. It's unfortunate that was the standard.
Don't feel like you're going through a glow up now?
Oh yeah, I am.
And you're like a completely different person, and I'm literally like, who are you?
Actually, yeah. And it's actually fucking with my mind, girl. It's like, it really is. Like every day, I look at my... So, there's positive elements and then there's negative elements to it. The positive is that I feel amazing. I feel energetic. I feel
look insane.
Yeah, I feel comfortable. It feels different to just feel so comfortable in my body. That's like the plus side. The other side is just like, because I've lost the weight kind of fast, like 1 year, actually it's been like 7 months or 8 months is a really short time to lose weight. It's like I'm still getting used to what my new body looks like. One, my husband is still getting used to what my new body looks like. Also, it's changing me, just like the way that I think. You're treated very differently when you're in a smaller body versus when you're in a bigger body. This is like only someone who has lost weight will know. Like you're just... I don't even know how to describe it, but there's just like a way people act, especially men, when you're in a fit body versus when you're in a bigger body. So that's kind of like taking some getting used to. Knowing like, how do I like to dress? I'm very confused. You'll actually see like on my stories, I just wear like workout tights a lot. Because like the workout tights are just like comfortable. But like, I don't know, what is my dress sense? What do I like wearing?
Because now you have options available.
Exactly, a lot more options. But it's like now I'm just like, I don't know. So sometimes now when I see like now what you've worn, I'm like, okay, that looks nice. I guess I could wear that. Then I'll order something like that. Or like when I saw tea in the top, I was like, okay, that's a cute outfit. I guess I could look nice in something like that. But it's like, it's just taking some getting used to like balance that out, you know, kind of thing.
No, I get that. No, I can totally imagine. It's like an avatar in a new body. Yes, I'm going through some of that emotionally.
Right.
Because you can see the changes in my confidence, in like the way I'm approaching life, like literally
very forthrightly.
Exactly. Ooh, and I'm taking some time to adjust because it feels like Wait, I've always been confident, but right now I feel like my self-worth to me is so rock solid.
Right.
And that's different than just like being confident in the outside. I'm not afraid of people versus how I feel my worth is as a person.
Right.
That is like so rock solid right now. And so sometimes I end up feeling like, it's like, is this me?
Yeah.
It's slight, nowhere near that, because it doesn't have a physical expression, but I can feel like almost kind of exhausted at this new me.
Is this? I feel like, okay, to some extent, if you're someone who is committed to self-improvement, self-development, self-growth, is this just like life is just different phases of glow ups? That's the way I see it. It's like you at this age, maybe you had a sexual glow up. Then this other one, you've now got a physical glow up. The next one is like maybe even just your hair or something. Like it's like you're constantly, and this is only if you're someone who's committed to actual self-development. If you're someone who's comfortable being mediocre and remaining the way you are the rest of your life, then you maybe won't go through that.
Right.
Yeah.
Or it will be like a slower process because life is gonna shake you up whether you like it or not.
Girl,
but it is. I think that's it. This is it.
Yeah.
And this is why we do it.
Let me tell you, I feel like it's equal parts exciting and uncomfortable. But I feel like the excitingness and the positive elements of it, like every time I wake up and I look at myself in the mirror, I'm just like, wow, I did that. Look at me. I look so cute.
When she gets naked, I look at her.
Lydia has been staring at me. It's a boundary I'm going to start setting that I need to stare at me 24/7.
Like, wow.
Yeah. It's actually really great. So you see, now that's something which is like now, actually, something about that also still makes me uncomfortable. Like now, when I'm complimented, thank you, Beryl. Have you seen?
I have seen.
Good. I'm glad. And we're only on point number 4 of 18
we
points.
Do part 2.
Oh yeah, we can. That's it. Stretching content as much as possible. Yeah. So now, right now, I feel like sometimes when people compliment me, I'm just like, oh, thanks. But when, if like it goes on, I kind of feel a bit uncomfortable.
I can tell.
It's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
So I'm trying to figure out when, because it doesn't seem to be even how much. I think it's just like a when. Sometimes you're in the mood for it.
Yes.
Sometimes you're not. Right now, when I was complimenting her, when she came out, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
She's not in the mood for it, and that's okay. And that's fine, because I understand like you are getting used to it.
Right.
I'm also going to see how I can adjust. But I think a big part of first of all, this is also my journey. I know you think this is just yours.
I know it's us. It's the two of us together. Because you were also in the journey when I was complaining about my weight. So
So I feel like I am so proud of you, and I just want to say that in as many words as possible, because and it's wonderful, not only from I'm proud of you, from just seeing how you feel about yourself.
And you can tell like I seem different, right?
Yes. Yeah. But we're adjusting. So I will also say one compliment once and just
one compliment per shoot day.
One compliment. Only one per shoot day.
Per shoot day, yeah. Then you save now the rest for the other shoot days, yeah.
Okay, I'm definitely out. I've already given like 10. Okay.
But you know what's so nice? Like when you DM, like when I put up a picture and you're like, oh my God, unreal. I'm like,
oh, it's uncomfortable more. It's like face to face.
Face to face, you know, kind of like,
because I'm seeing you and you're afraid of being seen.
That's the thing, yeah.
Okay.
Stop with the honesty. I can't save that for the men.
Yeah.
Not for me.
Not for you.
Not for me, please.
Okay. Sour.
Okay. Was it you who read that one? Yeah. Okay.
It was?
Yeah. Me now.
Okay.
Number 5, the situationship that almost ended you. You weren't even dating him officially, but the connection was intense, messy, all-consuming. And when it ended, no closure, no explanation. It hurt more than any relationship you've been in. You couldn't even grieve it properly because people would ask, but were you guys even dating? I went through this when I was 25. It was the year before I met Zach.
Rocked you.
It rocked me, girl. This man was my neighbor. We literally lived in the same estate.
By the way, proximity plays a part.
That's it. We were like close. Like we would spend time together. In my head, I was like, we're in a relationship. In my head. We would meet, we would fuck. It was nice. Like the sex itself, now in hindsight, then it felt really, really nice. Now in hindsight, I was like, why did it never last more than a minute? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. In hindsight, but then it felt really nice because also sometimes like even if the sex is short, if it's frequent enough, it doesn't you know what I mean? It's just like because we were neighbors, it's literally like every other day, I'm at your place, you're my place, whatever. And that went on for like a good 6 months or so, I would say. I think I asked him, like, what are we at some point? And he kind of laughed it off. I remember we were at his house and I asked and he kind of laughed it off. And then we kind of didn't talk for a couple of weeks, only to discover that he had a girlfriend and she was pregnant and she had moved into his house. And that's how the situationship ended. And when I tell you that, it was like how he even told me that, oh yeah, by the way, my girlfriend is pregnant. It's like, I didn't know he had a relationship. I didn't know that he was like, it was very shocking.
Wow.
Very shocking, yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it was really a lot. But I remember that time now realizing, this is why it's important for you to like really name and make sure you're on the same page with someone. Because he probably was just like, at no point did I say that we were in a relationship. But to me, it was like, if we're doing relationship things, aren't we in a relationship? Yeah, that really quite changed me. It quite changed me, yeah.
My own. Go back with me.
Let's journey together.
Let's journey together down memory lane. So I was 8. No. I had just finished uni. And now I was working a part-time job, like at this, like, it was like an admin kind of office. And I was doing my master's. So I was living in Bristol, but going to do my master's in Birmingham. So then I was working at this call center. So he was working there. As usual, pretty as fuck. Hey.
You like these pretty boys, and I be telling her.
He was so pretty. He was Eritrean.
Oh, I can already tell his soft hair that you like running your hands through.
Big eyes. He looked so... I was a victim. Let's start there.
I guess so, yeah.
But I would say that the way I would express that, it was like the most trauma bonding experience ever. You know, he was a lot older. So I think he just kind of knew how to manipulate. He was pretty much a sex addict, guys. As in, there was a void he was trying to fill when it comes to having sex. So there was no boundaries. There's nothing he couldn't do to you. And also even like his behavior outside, because he was so shame-filled, he projected shame a lot. This was a guy who was just like, thick thighs, save lives, ndioyo mokami ameenda, protein shakes.
Lydia was literally trying to add weight.
Eating. And I feel like eating sometimes is such a chore. So I'm eating lots so I can be bigger, so that he can like me. Because he once put something about like thick thighs save lives or something like that. One time,
I'm not holding your hand. I'm holding the hand of 20-something-year-old.
Yes, I don't want to because it's sticky.
All right.
At one point, there's a time we were seeing each other. Then he posted like on his Snapchat. Snapchat has always been toxic, and he posted something that was alluding like he was with a girl when we are smashing on a public platform. So Lydia standing on business. So I stopped talking to him. I don't even know how it was, like some other office party or something like that then we now rekindled again. Turns out that he had a thing with like one of my friends. You think that stopped me?
Self-worth 0.
You hadn't heard of her? Which is self-worth. He literally used to like project so much shame, and he used to come and like share all of like his emotions, the things that he's going through. Then I was being able to be there present.
You wanted to
being a therapist, But what was he doing for me?
Nothing.
Say it again, louder.
Nothing.
There you go. Then how did we even end? I don't remember how we ended. It just kind of like randomly ended. It's not like he was the only one I was seeing, but there were other people. But it went on, I think, for a minute. Like maybe that year of uni, of my master's. And then the next year now I was working full time, even though I was working at the same place as him. Like 2 years of disgusting, deplorable behavior. He shattered my self-esteem. He destroyed my self-worth, the way I see myself.
The situationship that almost ended us.
Oh my God, the way I see myself, how I navigated through the world. Like, he was like the most please love me dynamic I've ever had, because there's no way you're allowing someone to disrespect you to that degree without having a void that you need him to feel too. Yeah, it's both. It's both ways.
And I fear that by the time you usually figure that out, it's like you're so deep in it. It's so hard to exit that dynamic.
Let me tell you things, guys. Me, the only thing, like the men which I've walked with, See, I heard like what Brie was telling me about people who are saying that my going to therapy is performative because my taste in men is diabolical. First of all, you don't know the half, baby.
You don't
know.
Sit down
the
while
half.
the adults are talking, please. Mm-hmm.
The walk I've walked with some men, guys, when you see someone without a child, know that this was glued on. It's not
Thank
because we
God.
didn't want kids.
No.
It's not because we didn't want kids. It's this. This was the difference between being a baby mom to a complete fucking broccoli. Like I'm telling you. So respect women who chose to not have children because you don't know who the fuck they would have had kids with.
Oh my God.
Girl.
And this is why I always feel like with situationships, often it feels like women get the short end of the stick. Like even when like maybe, okay, I don't know if maybe you're doing it like now you're older and you know yourself and whatever, but often it just feels like it just seems imbalanced. There just seems to be like an imbalance. Hardly ever do I hear a situation of like a man saying this situationship almost ended me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It
but
just
you do
feels
see
like-
some. You do see some. Let me tell you.
Okay.
There are some women out here
If you're
who
king
are
between her and you,
evening.
Yeah. Out there playing with women in male fields, huh?
They really are, but majority of the times it's like that because patriarchy is conditioning this man to women come like, have as much sex as possible. Your worth is in your purity, your goodness, you are being chosen.
Right.
So then in almost every dynamic, you're trying to be chosen.
You're
and that's why
right.
I'm saying the streets are fun for those who don't care to be picked. Because
Right.
as long as you are
Otherwise,
in that dynamic of please pick me, the amount of things you're going to tolerate, crazy. It did nearly kill me, I gotta tell you.
Little Lydia, oh my God, yeah.
Poor little girl.
Guys, actually, I feel like that could be a whole episode on itself. The situation that almost ended me.
Do you know what? Let's do
Send
that.
them, send
and
them,
you guys
guys,
send them and we'll do
because-
it.
Woo!
Hey.
I think that
we'll
was the
take
last situationship that I was in. I ended up in, that other one was actually a relationship. That was the last situationship that I was in.
No, I've had another situationship that turned into a relationship.
Miracle.
I do.
I remember.
I just found a way to play the game and play well.
That's the thing. If you know what you're doing and your expectations are matched, both of you, I feel like situations
One
can
of the
work
best.
fantastic.
Yeah.
However, if you're entering you with wanting to be picked and the other person knowing that you want to be picked, you're finished. You're actually done.
Pusha.
You are finished. Yeah. Next one is you. I think this
Okay.
should be our last one.
Okay, fine. Then we'll do a part 2, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so catching yourself exhibiting a similar trait of your parents you didn't like. It's small.
Can we skip this one? We can
A
skip it's our
comment you
podcast.
make in an argument, the way you clean, the tone you use when you're angry, and it hits you. This is exactly what your mom or dad used to do. The same habits you once rolled your eyes at have found their way into you. That's disgusting. I sometimes am afraid I'm my dad. If I see any ounce of irresponsibility, I'm like, oh my God, I'm becoming like him.
All right.
That really, really scares me,
Irresponsibility in what way? What do you
in
mean?
any way, like if I feel like have I dealt with money that way, like the way that I should have you know what I mean, any way that doesn't show that I am the one who's leading my life and I'm not waiting for anyone else to do it. And that might be another thing, which is like the way you're always like, oh, just ask your mom, or just ask Tim or whatever for money.
Yeah.
No,
You don't want to.
irresponsibility scares me because I've seen that when you do, or like maybe I think that my parents would feel what I feel sometimes when I feel that responsibility of an adult that should be taking care of themselves.
Right. Except that you're their daughter.
Right, but I still feel
And
like an
he's-
adult.
But I get that.
Yeah.
I completely understand that. And I can see how, especially with our dynamic with our dads,
Yes.
you can see how like I never want to be that to anyone
else.
Like my kid, like literally ever. Even to my husband, sometimes I'm like, I love that you're paying for it, but I hope you know I got it too.
Listen.
If I need to, I got it. Yeah. Like actually that maybe has breeded in us now something which is like, I never want
Wanna
to be
be
that.
that,
I
yeah.
never want to put anyone in a situation where it's like, you have to take care of me. You can choose to,
Mm.
but I don't want you to think that you have to.
Exactly. Yeah, it scares me.
Wow. Okay. What trait of my
A bad one.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a bad one, but so my parents always had this dynamic where my mom, in most households, women are the ones who are the neat freaks, and then the man is like not. In our household, it was the opposite. My dad is a neat freak. He's like the kind who is like, the dishes have to be washed, things need to be organized, whatever. Like everything, just like he's very type A in that way, which is ironic because in other ways, it's like, what are you type Z? You know what I mean? But like in this particular way, he was like that. And my mom is like more, she's very type B. She's more like laissez-faire. Like, yeah, we can clean up. It's like, it's not like a dirty home, but it's like,
I
it's
get
not
it. My show is like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like things that it's just like, yeah, whatever, you know, it's just kind of, and now because now me and Zach, we are the opposite. Zach, it's like he's okay, like he's okay, but me, I'm just like, please, like I'll say something like, babe, please, you'll take your plate to the kitchen. Like he knows to take his plate to the kitchen, but if it's been sat there for like a bit too long, I actually start getting like now I'm on my phone, but it's like I literally can't even focus on my phone because I'm like, what time is he gonna take the plate to the kitchen? Because it's like, and there I see him stand up and start walking up the stairs like you've forgotten to take your, like it's not even that serious, you guys. It's literally.
But I get it.
And
so that's
sometimes
like
I'm
your
like,
dad.
yeah, I'm like, whoa. It literally, and I remember always thinking about my dad. It's like, it's not that serious, dad. Like there are times where he would like, it's a holiday, a public holiday, and he'll come down and he'll tell maybe me or Angie, oh, please wash the dishes. If you literally have not gotten up to do it in that 1 minute, even if you are doing something else, it's like, it's fine, I'll wash them myself. And that's exactly how I am. And then it's not I'll wash them myself and I'm happy to do it and to help. It's that I'm now angry and resentful because you didn't do it. And so that you are not going to do it. You're just not doing it in the timeline that I have set for myself, for you in my head. Yeah. Am I proud? No.
I hear you.
I'm not proud.
It's the worst thing because it's not something that you can change or take out. It's just part of who you are. That's
the thing. So now what I try practice doing is that if it's so important for me for something to be done now, I'm not going to ask Zach to do it because Zach is a very independent. He values his independence a lot. And you know, avoidance are kind of like that. It's like independence over intimacy. Yeah. So for him, it's kind of like he doesn't want, he's like, yes, he'll do it, but you're not going to tell me
and
in what
the
timeline.
Telling me is even the problem.
That's it. So it's like, if it means that much for it to be done now, I'm going to do it myself. Yeah,
I hear you.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would say one thing which I noticed when I was living with my ex is that if I'm on the go, so does everyone. Nobody can be chilled if I'm not. And that's a trait for my mom, right? So my mom is like, we're chilling. She's gotten up. It's time to paint the walls.
You're all about to. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like she's always busy. And what that ends up making you feel is like you don't have consent to not be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And they have consent to not be.
Exactly. And I used to feel like that. So, but Sundays, I'm a complete slob. Then everyone has all the freedom to be a complete slob. But all other days is just like, yeah. So then I used to project you need to be on him too.
And why do we then attract the slowest ones then? The ones who are so happy to take their time.
Because one, it's trauma reenactment. And two is like, maybe those are the elements we need to take on ourselves. But now I'm way more like, it's something which I've slowed down on for sure. Because I see how much it robs of me. Like, where are we going? Where are we going? There's nowhere we are going. Relax. And I breathe a lot now.
I need to. It's good you're learning to breathe now, even before.
No, but see, I have people who I'm practicing on.
Oh, right.
Yeah, if someone's just like, I just have to be okay.
I really am still trying in the breathing. Sometimes it's just like, I feel like I am the fastest person in the world and Zach is the slowest person in the world. Obviously, we are not, but like it feels that way sometimes. You know what I mean? It's like,
are you using tender words so that it doesn't seem like it's as much of a problem?
Yeah.
Are you the biggest control freak?
Lydia.
Yes.
But it's like, this is my house. Do you know what I mean? I want to, yeah. Sometimes it's like, let's say, like on Friday, or when was it? I think it was like Friday, our shower, the thing, like the circuit breaker burst. So I was like, babe, the circuit breaker has burst, but I think we need to call the electrician. He's like, oh, okay, so yeah, I will.
But do you know what? To retrain your brain, Joe, right? It's to sit in the discomfort. I promise you right now, sitting in the discomfort and wanting to throw up, your brain learns that nothing happens. The plate stays and nothing happens.
Yeah, okay. So sometimes I choose that one. Other times I call the electrician myself.
That must be fun.
Yeah. Because then obviously, like sometimes, okay, so you see, because you can relate, eh? Because
Huh?
I feel like, so sometimes if I've asked him to do something and it's taking longer than I expect, I will go ahead and do it, and I'll just tell him,
talking
listen.
faster. Relax. Hey, guys,
Okay,
please.
let me regulate. Sorry.
Why? Yeah, regulate a bit. You are talking so fast.
You see, for me, sometimes, like when I fixate on this issue, I feel like I can't then now move to the next task when this task has yet to be finalized.
But
Do you know what I mean?
That's not a must.
I
That
get
way
it.
of order.
But my mind needs it that way, because now what happens if it comes to the evening, I get home and I want to shower and you hadn't called, or if you had called at that time when I told you, it would have already been fixed and now it wouldn't be an issue. So that one would be an issue. Another issue though is that if I do call the electrician, it leads to a situation where it's like, Zach is like, so you don't trust me to get the thing done?
And the answer is yes.
No, the answer is I don't trust you to get it done in the timeline that I have set. You see?
Yes. So here's the thing. And this is you are in good company, sister. I've got to tell you, I promise you, I relate more than you can, because when I am on, because I'm not always this way.
Yeah.
But when I am, it just bugs me to be around anyone who's not on the same frequency. So I really, really do get it. But you're not willing to sacrifice some moments of inconvenience to be able to change that dynamic. I hated being that person. I hated, because I remember how I used to feel like I can't relax, like I can't do things at my own pace, because my mom was just like always in a rush. Things always had to get done. I didn't feel, wow, I feel like I'm getting triggered. I didn't feel relaxed to just sit. You know what I mean? Like to just be. I didn't like that. And I didn't want other people to feel that way around me.
So, but guess what? If when I've told you to call the electrician, if you call him now, then you can relax. Then we are both relaxed because you already called the electrician.
This is a very Monica. Rules make the game fun.
Exactly. And if you follow them exactly the way they're supposed to be. But you see, this is what in the last episode where I was telling you that I realized that Zach is a person with wants and needs and a way of operating. I recognize how me being this way is me. And there's nothing wrong with him being that way. It's just the way that he is. So now I really actively try to appreciate how his slowness can be beneficial.
I actually think I learned so much living with that ex about it's not that serious.
Exactly.
It's not that
serious.
And
now I realize, like earlier on in our marriage, it was a much bigger deal than it is now.
You get softer a bit.
Exactly. Like now, especially like for example, when we're going to church, I prefer to like, our church is literally 5 minutes away from the house. And that means for Zach, us leaving at 9:55 is okay because we'll get to church at 10. I don't want a single word of praise and worship to have been uttered before I have entered the church place. I need us to be entered. We have sat, we have settled, and then it's 10. So I want us to leave the house at least 9:40, 9:45, so that we're there at least a full 10, 15 minutes before church starts.
Okay, you're really type A.
Yeah, and I want to, you see, because like I don't want to rush.
Star?
Yeah. I am actually A star.
No, me, I'm A.
I feel like I am A star in some things. Like timekeeping is really essential for me. It's like, why am I hitting my hand like this?
My life
it's
is
really
being threatened.
essential for me. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And I'm like, anyway, one thing I realized is that, okay, there was a day where I was just like, babe, I need us to move faster so that, because we have literally the kids will wake us up at 7:30. So we've had more than enough time to get ready. Why are we leaving at 9:55? Answer, Lydia.
So you can't go first, or you must go as a family?
We must go as a family.
Those are sacrifices I was always willing to make. I'll see you there. I'll meet you there. I want to go early. Do you want to take a cab? Because I don't want to interfere with your world. I don't want to interfere with your world, but I also won't compromise with mine.
But me, I want the togetherness that we went to church together.
Issues. Yeah. But you are going to go to church together. You just go early and set the table for everyone.
I have to drive myself there.
The 5 minutes.
Lydia, it's you have to understand. Like,
no,
you know,
I do understand.
Yeah.
But honey, you don't think you're gonna need to find a balance?
Now, listen, this is what the balance that I've been finding lately. It's like, okay, let's leave whatever time you're ready. So actually, most times I'm in the car by 9:40 or that 9:45. I'll just sit there and wait until he comes.
I think that's a really good idea.
Yeah.
And also, okay, so you got to church at 5:15.
I'm not happy. It feels disrespectful to God. It does. Because
I'm glad you
for
know
your
it's a feeling.
Your meeting, you will never be late for your meeting at the office with your boss who you respect. But church, we can arrive right on time. I'm
do
not
get
happy
it.
about that.
I hear
And
you.
I was raised in a church household. So for me, such things are very important to me.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like it, but the world won't end if it happens. But I'm getting more soft A. I'm more of like a soft type A. I'm even maybe going towards V, who's A minus.
Oh, she's A minus,
yeah,
right?
I'm even maybe walking towards there.
Incidents like this actually are what make me. You see, I'm always telling guys you shouldn't live with a partner before you get married. Sometimes I think about changing that stance. Like maybe there's some things which I'm just like, I wish I had known this. Of course, I would still have married him. I love him; he's the love of my life. But I wish I was more prepared.
Yeah.
For how aggravating it could be.
You know, that dynamic of like, don't get married is definitely rooted in like religion.
Don't move in together.
Yeah, don't move in together, before you're married is very much in religion. And the whole point of this is about making sure that the man ends up marrying you. Obviously, you know, that's not my goal. My goal is to enter the marriage that makes the most sense. And if living with him is what's not going to take us down the aisle, nobody's guessing that maybe this is not the one.
Oh yeah, perhaps. Yeah, but also this is the thing. In our current context, African and cultural context, I feel like it's actually not even about religion right now. For me, at least, I feel like it's more. Women end up with the short end of the stick, especially because sometimes, especially in this dynamic of like, come we stay, you get together, you have a kid, now you're not working. Like, how many DMs do we get about that? Like, oh, now it's not working. He said we would get married. We are now not getting married. Now you quit your job because he told you to, and now you don't have the money to be able to move out. Like, it just somehow, it just disadvantages the woman in this patriarchal African dynamic, you know, kind of thing. So even aside from religion, that in itself is problematic enough for me to be telling women don't move in with him.
I
Do you know
totally
what I mean?
get it, but then maybe that's why I can't apply to myself.
Exactly,
because all of that sounds like madness in
like
life.
In which world?
Knowing how you live with a partner is because I think that's even an element of like just understanding. Like, and guess what? You could like it. I liked living with my ex. It was fun. It wasn't like a stressful thing. So it's like, I want to see how the day-to-day of marriage would look like so that I'm like a bit more, whoa, how do you deal with money? I'm going to find out how you pay bills once it's already locked in.
No, but you can talk about it before.
Oh, talk about it because everyone is always honest. Hey, no. You guys can bitch about that all the time or however you want. But for me, before I sign, I need to see how somebody is. Oh, I need to see about it. Maybe after engagement.
So let me ask you, how long is long enough of you living with someone for you to say that you know them? Because people can also pretend when you're living with them.
100% people can know. But that means I would have done my due diligence. He was just a better scammer. But in this other one, I even done my due diligence.
You did nothing.
I was scammed with my eyes open.
You right, girl.
You know what I mean?
You right.
Yeah, it helps. It helps. But I also see why people don't, because most won't be married.
Actually, there's a certain level of ignorance, we were told that you need for you to be able to get married. So then
I agree.
It is what it is, guys.
I agree.
This whole point started with us saying that we were exhibiting traits of our parents. And all that to say, me personally, all that to say that the traits of myself that I see, of my parents that I see in myself, when I catch it, I do my best to either understand it, because sometimes you see it, maybe it annoyed you as a child because you didn't realize what it was, right? But then now it's like, if it's a negative one, I try to address it.
Oh no, me too. I really do try to address it because half the time those things I didn't like, there's one way or another they made me feel not regulated or just a way that I didn't want to feel. Right. So then now I don't want to be making other people feel that way. And but what this does, it gives me a lot of empathy for my parents because it's like, oh, I'm shit too.
Right.
You know, it's like, so we're all shit. So it's not like, oh wow, your parents are the one who really, really screwed up. No, we are all screwing up.
All of us.
And I heard this question, I know it's like, I'll leave you with it. You can journal it out, right? What am I blaming my parents for that I do now?
Oh my God.
Your parents don't meet your needs. But when you want to rest, you don't let yourself rest. So what are you blaming them for?
Oh, right.
Let's think. Let's think
about it.
Yeah,
right,
as ADs, it was ADs. Remember AD from Love is Blind?
Yeah.
I think it was the guy's mom who said, whatever it is that you see that we didn't do right? You do it. You do it. Yeah, you're mourning to your parents. Your parents did everything. Go and do better than we did.
Yeah.
It's not as easy.
Why does that sound like a threat?
It does.
As opposed to like, oh, go do it.
She was more saying it like, okay, fine, we've wronged so much. Now you get the chance to do better Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, a trait from my parents that I caught myself doing the other day is like, I think Tana or Kenny was crying about something, and I caught myself asking them, "Why are you crying?" Yeah, like what are you crying for? Explain to me.
It was
why are you
more
crying?
of like articulate, use your words.
That's the thing. You see, until I am constantly reading material that is like, people cry all the time. How many times am I on my period and I cry for nothing? Like literally nothing has happened. I'm crying, but I don't want my child to cry even if they are crying for nothing. Maybe they're just sad.
Yeah.
Maybe they just feel like crying. Like it's okay, but of course because they are crying now, it's triggering you. Now I'm overwhelmed. There's so much, it's loud or whatever. Now it's like, I'm like, oh no, Joanne, you sit, you be uncomfortable, allow your child to cry. She's actually allowed to cry.
And she's a child. She probably doesn't even know.
Children cry.
She's just feeling it's a good cry.
Yeah, actually,
let me tell you, I think about all the ways that parents are tested on a daily by those little cocoa melons.
Yeah.
And as I said, you see parents, you get up. You stand up
Clap
because you guys, and also
us.
That emotional regulation.
Yeah,
that's one thing I'm thankful for, to be emotionally regulated before I'm a mom. Because actually, if I was a mom before,
I still struggle with that.
Emotional regulation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I feel like I'm way better now than before I started therapy many years ago. Before then, I didn't even know what emotional regulation is. It was always like, isn't it Zach's job to regulate me? Yeah, but now I realize it's actually my job.
Annoying.
To regulate myself.
So
and I'm not really happy about that, but I'm dealing with it.
This is a really, really good thread. There's so much to say. But you see, women, we've been shifted. So many things we have really, really been shifted.
Yeah. I'm curious to know if the king between us watching have also experienced these things.
Yeah.
Because it's like in women's lives, but maybe also men have experienced the same things.
It's true.
As well.
By the way, you can let us know, because it's just because men are not. There's not a man who's gonna write this kind of thread.
That's it. Yeah.
That's the thing. So king between us, let us know about some of your Canon events, and we're gonna do a part 2 coming up in the next episode.
Might even be a part 3, because you see, we had 6 and they're till 18.
And also, we haven't said one of our own.
Oh God! But all of these have been relevant to us.
So many.
But now maybe when we give it some thought, there'll be other things that will be like, oh yeah,
there is
also
one
these.
already that's like top of mind. So
really?
Yeah.
Okay, don't even tell me.
I won't tell you.
But write it down so you don't forget.
I won't.
Thank you.
Yes. Hey guys, this was a really good one.
Yeah,
a very good one. And I love. First of all, I've gotten to know you so much better in this episode.
Oh really? Thank you.
Really have. And we get to really dig in when we have this kind of conversations. And I hope the conversation you're having with your girlfriends as you're listening as well, it's like those healthy exchanges. Get to know each other. What do you think? How about you? Did this happen? This could open up a world for you guys. So maybe like dig in to that. Exactly. Please make sure you're subscribed, you're following us on social media, and we will see you on the next episode.
Bye.